Hello and welcome back to AskPolymathGeddy, your polymathic source for information, knowledge, and wisdom. And apparently I am your Dateline advisor because it looks like we have another relationship question. So the question is coming in from Ramina, or Ramina, however you want to pronounce your name. I don't know how your accent is. That's the thing. She is writing from Yucatan, Mexico, in the jungle on the outskirts of the city. Her question is, my boyfriend is 40 years old, has never married or had children. His longest relationship is only 4 years. He says he's willing to settle down now and he truly believes that I'm the one. I don't say anything about it. I let him be. He receives already too much pressure from family to marry and have children. How can I secure this without making it obvious, without making him feel pressured? One could think that because of his bachelor lifestyle, he only says he will marry, but he will never settle down. I don't know if it's for real. I do, however, know he loves me 100%. What would be the tips to keep him happy and even make him propose? Alright, here we go again. What I suggest is, first of all, you have a conversation with him that is upfront about what you really want, what you really see for yourself. Ask him, I know that your lifestyle has been such and such. It may be a contradiction to what you have with me now. Am I really the one? Are you really looking for the one? Is there even a one? And will you miss the life that you are supposedly putting behind to make me the priority that you're moving forward with? So you have to really ask yourself those questions. He might not know what he wants. Okay, he might want to shut his family up, but not really want what they are projecting upon him. So you need to determine with him, in communication, whether what he is saying, if he is in fact saying he wants to settle with you, if that is coming from him or that's coming from his family, and make that a front row center topic. Say, hey, I know your family is pressuring you to do this. I don't care what your family wants. I want to make sure that you're giving me what you really believe in, and make sure that I'm giving you what I really believe in. Okay? So that way, when all things fall to the wayside, we're happy with what we have together. And that's really what you should be talking about, essentially. So you can't make him want to propose. You can't make him be sure of his decision. You can help him come to a conclusion by kind of cutting out all the excess distractions and all of the external influence that's penetrating and manipulating and giving him a sense of not knowing what he really wants. You have to take all of that out of the picture and say, okay, just you and me, what do you really want? And here's what I really want, okay? And let's see if what I want and what you want merge. Let's see if what you want and what I want are congruent, and that we really are meant for each other, especially at this time. So it's not something that you can force on him. You can't force him to want you. You can't force him to love you. You can't force him to commit to you. You can't force him anything. He's a human being. He has free will, and so do you. He can't force any of those things either. That's why relationships that last are a wonderful thing, because they're most likely consensual. They're most likely mutually beneficial. When one person really wants to be with the other person really wants to be with that first person, and they aren't feeling like they're being held at gunpoint to do something. They really believe in what they're doing. That's what you really want. You want a relationship where you're not feeling compelled to be something that you're not, and neither is the other person. You're coming forth as you truly are, and so is he. So that there's a true meaningful give and take, a true meaningful exchange, and you're sharing a sense of what you want for your life and what your future is, and so is he. But you can't force anything, unfortunately. You can make the grounds easier for him to tread through so that he can come to his own conclusion quicker and make himself more sure of himself. But you can't yourself have that power to control and make a decision or help prompt someone else's decision for them. What you can do is just make it easier for them to decide when they're ready what they want for themselves. So the best thing I would do if I were you is simply to get rid of all the distractions, the family, and all this other pressure that you feel like he's under, and tell him, I don't care about that pressure. I don't care about that. If you want to wait another year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, let's talk about that and let's see if what we want is compatible. Okay, if you really want 2 years before you're sure, then sure, I'll decide if I want 2 years to wait for you, and we'll go from there. It may turn out that he might be ready in 10 years, and you might only be ready in another year or so, and you're going to get tired of waiting, and he's not even going to be close to ready. Or the reverse, maybe he is ready, and you think you're ready, but you're really the one not ready. Maybe you're the one who needs to really ask yourself, hey, wait a minute, I've always thought I wanted this, but do I really want it? He's always been careful about it. Maybe now that he's making the decision to commit, he's thoroughly thought that through, and he's ready because he's done his homework. Maybe you haven't actually really questioned your own self, too. So that's something else to consider. Question yourself before you even question him to make sure you really want that. Okay, and come to some conclusion. Remember, love is not ownership. You can't control him and make him do things for you because you just want it. Okay, it doesn't work that way. So you have to determine whether or not you love him, whether or not he loves you, and what that means to you both together. And make sure that the pressures that are coming about upon both of you from all ends are taken out of the picture. Maybe you should both go on an escape somewhere. Go on a mini vacation. Go out of town for a day or two, and just to talk about it, and just to go for a little walk somewhere where you're not going to be distracted. Turn your phone off for a few hours, whatever, and just have a talk and say, hey, this is what I want, this is what I believe in, this is what I'm afraid of, this is what I'm looking for, and how do you feel about that? Okay, and try not to be judgmental, try to be understanding, and try to be patient, because what he may say at first, if he's honest, might scare you, it might offend you. Don't worry about it. That's the place where he's at now. And that you're better off knowing and working with that and seeing what you can do with that. Instead of him feeling like he has to say what you want to hear and you having to pretend like you believe him. You don't want that. That's not a sincere relationship, okay? So make sure that you're both honest and straightforward, and that what he wants is really coming from him and not his family and not from you. It has to come from him. And if it's not coming from him, don't judge him for it. Be patient, and if what he wants is not what you want, you have to be willing to walk away, because that means there's something else out there for you that you haven't found yet. So try not to completely throw all of your faith and all of your hope and all of your dreams into some unforeseen circumstance. Instead, be tentative, be hopeful, be optimistic, but be a little cautious, and be patient, mostly. And talk to him and make sure that you exchange your beliefs and your hopes and your dreams so that you determine whether or not what you want for yourself is coming from you, and what he wants for himself is really coming from him. Because that's what it's going to come down to. And that's the real nature of your problem. You trying to control the outcome when it's really not yours to control. It's both of yours to control equally. And you control mostly where you're coming from. He controls where he's coming from. And if you both voluntarily join together, then it can work much better. And it's the only way it's going to be really meaningful anyway down the road. So I hope that answers your question. I suggest watching this video again and taking notes. And then next time you have some time alone, decide how you want to approach him and decide how you're going to handle this, because I think I gave some great points here, and it's really just a matter of being mutually beneficial. And it has to come from you, and it has to come from him. So thanks for your question. For everyone else, AskPolymathGeddy@gmail.com. Send me your name, your location, and a brief question. And if you want to add me on social media, Geddy Friedman, I'm on Facebook, also Twitter. And if you want to find me on Instagram, it's PolymathG, as well as the Friedman Press, where my writings will be published, or promoted, should I say. So thanks again. Please like, support the video, share, subscribe to the channel, most of all, so you get more notifications. And I will be back when I get more questions. Thanks.